Glass Onion is the star-studded sequel to Knives yada yada yada. You know. Glass Onion and the third Knives Out movie are both productions by you know that. Glass Onion and presumably the third Knives Out movie is getting a 1-week run in theaters before it'll later be on Netflix for forever. Unless Netflix gets bought by Discovery, then it'll be up in question. But you know all this. The thing is, you've got about 6 days at the time of uploading this to decide if you want to see it in theaters or on Netflix. And there's a list of stuff that YouTubers and shit will tell you. The cinema experience. This is how you get it. It's the crowd and the lights and the Dolby Atmos and maybe the IMAX. I didn't see it in IMAX. There's no IMAX in my city. I don't care about that. Those are decisions that you've already thought of, presumably, before clicking on this video or listening to this on audio. I have a different perspective to give you because, frankly, for my money, I mean, this is my phone, it's an iPad mini, but let's say I have an iPhone mini. The Lord of the Rings trilogy would be captivating watched on an iPhone mini. And it would be a hell of a lot better of a cinema experience than going to the movies, the theater, and seeing Playing with Fire. Don't fact check that. Just trust me. So those are questions you may have already asked. Those are questions other YouTubers and things like that people like that may be saying, hey, there's this benefit here. There's a crowd here, home, yada, yada, yada. I want to give a different perspective for this movie, not in general. For this movie, I believe you should go to the theater to watch it for one simple reason. You can't pause. Now, that may seem like an idiotic reason, a simple reason, but it's very important in this sense, or at least with this film, being a murder mystery. Because if you're at home, I mean, think about Knives Out. There are so many clues. The best mysteries are literally in your face. And like any mystery, and this isn't spoilers for Glass Onion, like any mystery, there will be facts presented to you that if you had the luxury to rewind and, compare and contrast, you can figure shit out just too easily. So if you want to have, the best experience, I guess, for cinemaphiles and for a murder mystery like this, such a good one, go to the theater and please get the first Knives Out of your mind. It has Benoit Blanc, but, and this is not a spoiler, it's been talked about, or I guess it might be a spoiler if you haven't heard, but it really doesn't affect the actual film on its own. It's much like, and this is apt, the Bond movies. But not the Daniel Craig ones, ironically. The ones that are just separate from each other, and you can pop in and enjoy them. And the only negative review I've seen from Jeremy Jahns, I think, might have been for the same reason I was like, like for the first hour. I was just thinking about Knives Out. Get it out of your mind. I'm going to see it a second time, Glass Onion, because I think it's mwah! And I would love a second viewing because I know in a second viewing I will not be comparing it to Knives Out. But that's my reason. You can't pause. You can't rewind. You don't even have the luxury or the temptation to be able to do so. Plus, you get all those other benefits that I just don't give a shit about. Anyway, subscribe to my YouTube, the podcast. Stick around because Kevin Smith's going to be judging movie fights. Anyone know about movie fights? Google it. Anyway, bye-bye. Mwah. I'll be reviewing it with my buddy for the podcast.